Alright folks, hopefully you can hear me well enough over the engine, but I'm coming off of 10 days of testing my cruising philosophy, and I feel like everything went really well. Now, one thing I will say up front, some people might watch this and think, well, you didn't really go anywhere. Well, the point wasn't necessarily to go somewhere, but to be somewhere. And that's really, for me, that was kind of key. I went somewhere, I didn't have a whole lot to do, and I didn't go stir crazy. And I didn't stay drunk the whole time either. There are a few changes I'm going to make, and they're kind of spelled out throughout the video. There's a little bit of, revelation every day almost. And there's the surprise toward the end. But yeah, it was a great trip. Watch the video. There's stuff in there you'll like, I think. Hey everybody, what's up? It's the old man out here on Miss Sea Lily down in Green Cove Springs. We are anchored out. I actually shot an intro for this video yesterday, but I didn't realize just how bad the sound was. Could not even hear myself, so I'm trying to reshoot another one. But I'm out here testing my sailing, cruising, liveaboard philosophy. And you may have heard me talk about this in an earlier video, but essentially my take on it is, if you can spend the night aboard, you can spend a week aboard. And if you can spend a week aboard, you can turn that into a month aboard. And a month aboard can become a season in the Bahamas. Now, after that season, technically, to my mind, you are a liveaboard at that point. You've lived aboard your boat for probably 6 months at least. I mean, if you were to move somewhere for 6 months and somebody asked you about it, you could say, hey, I lived over in Scranton, Ohio, for a while. So technically, I think you would be considered a liveaboard. Whether you want to make that your lifestyle and move on from there, of course, would be up to you, but I think you qualify. All that being said, I am out here to test my philosophy a little bit. It's actually, like I said, this is day 2. I came down here last night, or yesterday afternoon. Nice, easy motor. There was essentially no wind, and then today it has completely changed, and for the next several days I'm going to have winds 10 to 20 knots out of the northeast. So I have tucked way up into this little cove here that I like. Closer than I've ever been, really. I'm just a couple hundred yards off the shoreline, but I've got plenty of water. Really makes a difference as to your comfort. The waves just simply don't have a chance to get any kind of chop or movement to them. One of the things I really need to do out here is figure out what I'm gonna eat. I'm so used to the wife's cooking and being able to run to Publix or Winn-Dixie to get fresh stuff anytime you want it. But yeah, everything is really going good. Boy, clouds went away. It was rough looking this morning. The clouds have gone away, and it's breezy, and it's cool. Supposed to get down close to 50 tonight, but super nice out here. Really hope to enjoy a minimum of a week. I'm shooting for 10 days. We'll see how it goes. Holy cow. Good morning. Whew. It's still a little nippy out here. Day 3. Slept a little better. The wind was calm, so that was kind of nice. Definitely putting the dinghy in the water and getting off the boat today. Pretty sure I mentioned it. I have a bicycle. It's a Dehan folding bicycle that a lot of people have said you know, don't take that to the Bahamas, but I'm gonna take it with me. I like the bike, and I just believe it's gonna be pretty useful over there. Not sure what I'll do with the afternoon. Really just trying to force myself to relax and not feel like I have to do something all the time. Trying to relax and not feel that rush to get things done is super difficult, super difficult. So I'm gonna sit here and have a second cup of coffee and essentially do nothing. Everybody? Oh, all right. Well, I dinghied back over to this little park here, brought the bike, and I took about a 20-minute, 30-minute maybe, little tootle around. Honestly, I was looking for a convenience store. The nearest one it's only 1.5 miles down the road, and I'd have gone, but there's no real bike path, and I didn't really want to ride right on the side of Highway 13. So the river, you can't tell, but the river is really choppy because of the wind. It's blowing 10 to 20. I'm on the lee side of the river here. Yeah, the lee side, not the windward side. And so it's pretty calm over here. That's why I'm tucked up into that cove over there. But to dinghy across would be a challenge. I think what I'm gonna end up doing, because I don't know when this wind is gonna stop. So I believe what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and work my way back up the river, hopefully sail it. And I'm gonna anchor there where the other boats anchor, and I'm gonna dinghy over to the dinghy docks and just walk across the street. There's a grocer's market over there. I need some snacks. I have no snacks, so that's what I'm looking for. In the meantime, hopping back on the dinghy, headed back to the boat, and I guess I'll start thinking about what we can have for some supper. It gets choppy right out here in this little spot. I can't imagine what the other side of the river would be like. But I'm not gonna go over there and find out. All right, gotta put you down. Well, good morning. We are on day 4. My plan was to move today, but yesterday when I got done thinking that I was going to move today, I went ahead and pulled the dinghy up on deck, and somehow or another I did something to my hand here. But it's really swollen and it's stiff and sore. Ouch. So I'm not going anywhere today. I'm gonna take a chill, which is actually good, you know, honestly. Still just continuing the process of trying to figure everything out. I'm probably just gonna piddle around the boat today. I'm certainly not gonna try to put the dinghy back in the water. I've been manhandling that dinghy. I was able to manhandle it, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and set up the block and tackle again and just start pulling it back up that way, because it's just borderline for me to be able to do it, and it makes more sense and it's safer to simply pull it up with the block and tackle. So next time I offload it and bring it back on board, I'm definitely gonna do it that way. Arthritis plays a hand in this too, trust me. I have arthritis, and it's definitely going to get worse as I get older, which is just another reason to go now while I still can. So all that being said, beautiful sunrise is coming up. Wow, that is really nice looking. I am going to make some breakfast and sit out here in the cockpit. What's on the menu tonight? What I've got is some leftover spaghetti sauce. It's essentially Classico brand that I have spiced up with some, let's just pause the Beatles there for a moment. But it's Classico brand that I spiced up with some of those shallot onions. And I put some hot sauce in there because I like spicy food, man. So that's what we're having tonight. The weather has definitely taken a turn. It's actually sprinkling at the moment. But I pretty much chilled out most of the day. Iced up my hand a little bit. Gosh, I don't know. Man, it's really swollen. It really is. I have no idea what I did to it. It'll be fine. It's just kind of a pain at the moment. Tomorrow I will move. I am going to move tomorrow. I'm going to go back up by the marina, like I said. Plus, there's some vodka in my truck that I left there. I meant to bring it with me, but there's some vodka in there, and I want to have a Bloody Mary in the damn morning, and I haven't been able to do it. But other than that, man, everything is going really good. I walk around, on the boat, and I'm looking at stuff out there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in a pretty good mood here, I'm feeling really good, okay? I'm going to finish cooking this up, have me something to eat. Probably going to watch I think I'm going to watch an episode of Lost in Space. Yeah. Black and White, season 1. But anyways, all is good. Hey. Well, for day 5. Really nice, beautiful morning here today. Still cool, but definitely a little warmer today than the last couple. And today I've got to move. This is such a nice little spot, and I'm really enjoying this decompression time. It's just, it's really been helping me to make this transition into not feeling like I have to look at the clock all the time. But I do want to make myself move. And, just get on shore, talk to some people. I have, said hello and had a few brief words with some people strolling through the park and whatnot, but I have not been around anyone that I know. So I feel like that's probably a good thing to do. I don't want to be a hermit. So anyways, we're going to make preparations to get underway. Probably film a little bit of the sailing because it should be just some really nice stuff, some good footage. And let's get the day rolling. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little change of plans, and I'm going over here to this little, it's not really a cove, it has a name, I can't think of it, and I can't read it yet here, but it's right by the marina, because I'm wore out, y'all, I ain't lying. So I'm just gonna tuck up into this little cove for the time being. I believe I'm gonna head over here. So we're gonna fire up the engine here pretty quickly, and we will see you after a bit. What's up? So again, change of plans. I did go ahead and come over here by the marina. I think there must have been one of those Trump rallies, a Trump boat rally, because there was just so many boats going, and then they were all coming back. I think they're all about done now, and the wind is calming down. I do have some really loud music coming across the river, so I'm not sure about that. So I'm playing my Beach Boys over top of it. But all is good. Basically, I think it's going to be a little bit of a rough night. But first thing in the morning, I'm going to hop out and get the dinghy up and go over and get some different victuals and whatnot. And then I am going to move because I'm not real happy with this spot. I'll show it to you here in just a second. This evening's menu is my favorite brat and beans, and I'm making a little cream corn on the side this time. But yeah, all is good. That was a heck of a sail, man. I did a rookie mistake and tried to loosen up the furling line when it was under tension and gave myself a nice little rope burn there. And that'll feel good for a few days. But my hand it's still swollen, but by the end of the day it always seems a little better. It's pretty stiff in the morning, but all is good. You know, the end of day 5 here, and you know, I'm ready to keep going. Rock and roll, baby. Right, so that mission was a success, and I apologize for the engine noise. We're actually sailing. I've got the jib rolled out. We're headed back down to Green Cove, and I'll talk about that too. But the engine noise, I'm just letting it tick over a little bit, and I'm charging the lithiums a little. In any case, I have to admit that I cheated a little because I did not walk anywhere. My shin is bothering me because of the long walk I took around the park, you know, not being used to it. So I cheated and I hopped in my truck and I actually drove to the house because it was just too easy to do. And picked up some stuff from there, just some grapes and cheese and some snacks. I still forgot my bag of Fritos. But I popped out that real quick video about the sailing philosophy, and I did that because the laptop is just not gonna cut it. It's just not got enough juice, man. It's not got enough CPU, it's not got enough RAM, and it's just not gonna do it. There's no graphics card. So trying to edit the video with my program, which is Filmora, by the way. It's Wondershare by Filmora. I just can't do it. So I'm gonna have to figure a way to put my house computer, my home computer, on the boat. It's not gonna be a big deal because my computer is one of those little tiny brain units that's all solid state. It's a pretty cool little computer. But in any case, headed back down there because it's just with the wind that's gonna be out of the northeast for the next several days still, going to the Ortega, that wind basically gets funneled right into the mouth of that river where I would be. So the best place is back in that little cove, man. I'm telling you, for the prevailing winds we get around here, I have found that to be the bomb. And it's quiet and peaceful, and that's where I'm going. But tomorrow, probably not going to do a darn thing, man. You know, I'm not going to do a darn thing. This will be a pretty easy sail down. I'm not beating myself into the wind. So I'm just going to have the jib. The motor will shut off here in a bit, and I'm just going to lazy my way down there and probably sail right into the anchorage. So all is good. Well, good morning. We are on day 7. And today is actually a little bit of a special day because I am 50 days into retirement now. Today we're going to celebrate with some cranberry orange muffins courtesy of Martha White. And we will have to see how these turn out. Now, I'm using the muffin liners this time because last time my corn muffins stuck pretty good. So hopefully this time we will do a little bit better. It's pretty darn tasty, I will say that. I give the oven another moment to heat up. You can see I'm like ridiculously conservative with water, but I will say that 3 showers and constant dishwashing and whatnot, you know, just normal housekeeping stuff, but that and 3 showers, and I think I might have used 15 to 20 gallons of water so far, so I'd say that's pretty good, you know, consumption, you know, being very water conscious. Let's put these in, see what we get for breakfast. Coffee comes next. I believe we're done. I think I need to start flipping the pan around. That one looks really good. Those, not quite as much, but we're gonna go with that. All right, make some coffee, have some breakfast. Have no plans for today except to chill, try to get some juice in the batteries, I think, break out the extra solar panel. Oh, dinghy over to the park probably and take a little bicycle ride. Not walking, but I might take a ride. Day 50 of retirement, day 7 of the test. Let me turn the music down. A little bit of Steely Dan, but I'm probably not supposed to play it on YouTube. So this is how I've been trying to end my days. And I'm not gonna lie, this feels really good. I know I have been mostly in the same spot, but I also feel that this would be somewhat what my cruising life would be like. If I get to a good spot, I certainly could stay there for 7 to 10 days unless the weather drove me somewhere else. I don't want to just hop around all the time. I'm looking for the really nice spots, and then I'll probably just hang out for a while. Just finished my 5 o'clock somewhere, and I'm getting a little hungry, so I'm thinking about going in there, and I'm probably just going to have the leftover Broughton beans, but I'm going to cook some corn muffins with it tonight. And I do have some tomatoes that I can have on the side, so I have a veggie. You know, I would say everything works really well. I'm very pleased with pretty much everything, but maybe the solar. I really feel like I need to upgrade these panels and get rid, or not necessarily get rid, but not rely on the flexible panels that I have, because they're not really flexible, they're folding panels. And looking at them with just the few months that I have on them, I'm hesitant to rely on them to last a season. So I may bite the bullet and upgrade these to a pair of 200 watt panels and keep the folding ones in reserve. You know, on the day when I run the water maker, that would be when I need the extra juice. Interestingly enough, I did talk with this couple that went to the Bahamas they had 6 weeks, and out of those 6 weeks, they only really had 2 of them in the Bahamas, but they were gone for 6 weeks, and they took a bunch of food. He said they brought so much of that food back. He said, we just did not eat near what we thought we were gonna. And I'm finding out the same thing. I'm just, it's not that I don't have an appetite, I guess. I don't know, I eat, but I don't know. Maybe the fact that you are sort of limited here, I'm not 100% certain, but I just have way more food than I'm gonna consume here. And I was concerned I wasn't gonna have enough, and I was like, I can go 2 more weeks at least off of what I got, I bet you. Tomorrow I am going to make some fajitas. I've got a whatever you call that little thing, a fajita press, and I'm going to make some fajitas. That's one of the things I consider is going to be one of my staples down in the Bahamas. So I'm going to make some fajitas tomorrow. That is the game plan. Other than that, I don't really have one again. You know, if you were in the Bahamas right now, obviously you'd be going and walking around some little islands and going to the beach and doing a lot of swimming. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that. This water's already down to 70 degrees. I don't want to get in that water. That's cold to me. 70 degrees is colder than the springs, and I have to have a 7mm wetsuit when I'm down there. All right, I've rambled enough. I'm gonna go make some supper. Everything's going good. Well, good morning. This would be day 8, and you know, I have to say everything is still going well. I have to defrost the freezer. It's definitely iced up enough to where it needs a defrost. It's been running for probably 2-3 months now, since the summer. I forget exactly when I got that, but definitely has been running for several months, and it's finally to the point where I need to defrost it. Just another day in the life, I guess is what you would call this, you know, another day in the life. So all is good. And before I go, I did want to mention that the Starlink is working just fine. I'm really not having any problem with it. The amount of data that I use is extremely minimal. I mean, I'm maybe a gig a day if I sit there and look over some of the forums, but basically this is how I mount it right here, just right on this piece of PVC that I've hose clamped onto a brace there, and I've got a cigarette lighter adapter down there. Basically that just plugs in, and even as much as the boat swings around, I don't notice any problems whatsoever. I you know, just not having a problem with it. Just want to let everybody know the power usage extremely minimal. You know, I think it's maybe a couple of amps draw, so it's really not even a factor at this point. So I really wish we had a little more sunshine today. All right, I'm gonna go see how the freezer's doing. Tastes hard to me, man. Anyways, obviously I need a little work on my technique. That one just really, they shrink up as soon as you pull them out of there. I'm not sure what that's all about, but I'll ask around, I'll find out. I think I can get better at this. That smells like it's done. I'm gonna eat them. I'm gonna put some tuna on them tonight. That's gonna be, you know, tuna rolled up into them. That's what I'm having for supper. So yeah, the tortillas, they came out really good, to be honest. You know, that definitely gives me an option to be able to make something like that, you know, to add to your menu a little bit. Like I said, that for me, that's just one of the biggest things, is figuring out what the heck I'm gonna eat. A couple of things, if you're wondering about my little sun shades, if you've seen them in other videos, I bought 10 yards of fabric from a place. I'll put the link, or I'll put the website in the video here, but I bought 10 yards of fabric and I just made a bunch of little pieces. You've seen some down below. You know, got a sewing machine, really wasn't super difficult. I got the grommet kit and I got some snaps, and so I made a bunch of that stuff. I have come to the conclusion I don't care for, and I've said it too many times, I'm gonna say it one more, I'm not liking the flexible panels that much. I am going to upgrade these. I've made up my mind. I'm gonna upgrade it. You know, if this kind of stuff interests you, stay tuned. It's all good. And I'm just chilling here with a little taste of rum for the 5 o'clock, and all is good, man. That's all I can say, is all is good. Well, good morning. We are on day 9. But anyways, today I've got a special surprise that I've been kind of hinting at. Not going to tell you what it is yet. Appreciate anyone that's held in here this long and watched this much video, or you skipped ahead to this part, whatever. But anyways, I'm gonna let things dry up a little bit more, get the dinghy in the water. I'm going over to the park, and the surprise will come. Keep watching, it's coming. What can I say? I'm a child of the 70s. Funk was it, baby. All right, So, end of day 9, tomorrow's day 10. I hope you enjoyed the little surprise. It's all part of investing into the channel to make it more interesting, especially when I get to the Bahamas. It's almost required at that point. So since I've got the shots, I'm going to go ahead and head back tomorrow. Going to be a very calm day, supposedly, just winds light and variable. So I'm just going to shoot back to the marina. I've got some things I want to get and some things I want to get done. Some of the little odds and ends that I figured out on this trip. When I get to this point of the day and I'm looking out at this, it's just, it's worth it. It's really worth it. Just such a sense of peace and calm, and I get a smile on my face. I really do. It's too nice. You can't sit out here looking at this, the sun, the water, and not have a good feeling. It's just really good, really good. This has given me a pretty good sense of confidence that I can pull this off. You know, until you start doing it, you don't really know, you know, until you spend that night, until you spend that week, until you spend that month, which I'm not going to have a chance to do, but this is 10 days, and I certainly could do another 10 days. Again, I really appreciate everybody watching. I really appreciate all the interest that has been shown in the videos. So, thanks for watching. Old man, over and out. Even this makes me happy. That's so goofy, man. You know what? It's washing some of the mud off the bow up there where the anchor chain came across. Nice. Can't even see across the river hardly.